Good morning. It's Monday, November 7th, and it's Politics with Pierre. So today we're going to talk about the 2022 midterm elections. This is one of my favorite times of the year because it's election time. So one could say, why should I go out and vote tomorrow, Tuesday, November 8th? The president is not on the ballot. It doesn't affect the highest office of the land, but it does. Midterm elections are extremely important. They happen every 4 years, right in the middle of a president's term. And why is this election important? Well, right now we have a unified government. What does that mean? That means that the Democratic Party is in control of the White House, the U.S. House of Representatives by a couple of seats, and the U.S. Senate seat. Even though it's 50-50, Vice President Kamala Harris serves as the tiebreaker. So if the opposing party, the Republican Party, wins the U.S. Senate, if they win the U.S. House of Representatives, or both, then we have a split or divided government. So on the ballot will be the U.S. House of Representatives, U.S. Senate, and also you have state races. So in 36 out of 50 states, the governorship is being contested. So this is an extremely important election because the U.S. legislature impacts legislation that we want to work on in the future as it relates to gun control, immigration policies. The U.S. Senate confirms Supreme Court justices should there be a vacancy. They confirm cabinet members. The U.S. legislature is responsible for the budget. So this election is extremely important. Issues like voter suppression, some would say falsely voter integrity, issues like student loan forgiveness, the inflation, the economy, Roe v. Wade, abortion rights, they are all on the table. And if you live in New York State, we do have a governor race. Don't assume that the Democratic Party will be in control of the governorship. In recent history, we've had a Republican governor. Depending on where you live in New York, your race could impact the U.S. House of Representatives. So it's important to vote. There's also going to be 4 ballot proposals. 3 of them have been submitted by the Racial Justice Commission. One of those proposals has to do with the statement of values that's going to be inserted into the city charter that encourages city government to promote racial equity and justice. Another proposal has to do with establishing the Office of Racial Equity, plans, and a commission, and then also measuring the true cost of living. So make sure you pay attention to those ballot proposals. So make sure you go out and vote. You can visit New York City Votes to find your polling site. Your polling site for Election Day might be different than the one for early voting. So keep that in mind. Polls open at 6. They close at 9 p.m. So if you're able to take a floating day to go out and vote, do that. Go vote early in the morning after work. Grab a friend with you. It is extremely important. Races to pay attention to, races happening in Georgia for the governorship, Stacey Abrams versus Brian Kemp. That's a race to pay attention to. And the U.S. Senate race, Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker. So make sure you go out and vote and participate in the midterm elections.